Les Trois Vallées is the largest ski area in the world. Spread across 3 large valleys, it brings together 7 resorts under one ski pass. With the resort summit around 3,000 metres and receiving up to 600 centimetres snowfall each year, these resorts are amongst the most reliable in the French Alps. The large villages provide an incredible amount of accommodation with a range to suit most budgets.
There is an immense 600 kilometers of marked trails across Les Trois Vallées, plus an incredible amount of off-piste terrain for anyone prepared to take the risk of leaving the trails. There are learning areas and green trails in each valley for first-timers, and some steep and challenging reds and blacks for advanced skiers. But the huge extent of blue and red trails will have confident beginners and intermediate skiers spoiled for choice across these resorts. Each valley has a distinct vibe, and we have provided separate guides for Courchevel, Méribel, and Val Thorens. This video, however, provides an overview of the whole Les Trois Vallées.
Getting to Les Trois Vallées by car ranges from 1.5 to 2 hours from Champaigne or Grenoble airports, depending on the valley you are staying in. For international travellers, it's about 2.5 hours from Lyon or Genève. Add half an hour if you're using one of the regular coach services. Alternatively, take the train to Mortier, then a bus up to the resorts. The train option takes 4.5 hours from either Lyon or Genève.
The coach option reduces changes or transfers and is reasonably quick. This is probably the easiest for groups and families. Check out Altibus for schedules and bookings. A hire car might be quicker, but be prepared to pay express tolls and make sure you include chains as required by law. For most of the resorts and villages, a car is not needed.
There are ticket offices and toilets at each of the village base areas, although buying ski passes online is quicker, easier, and provides a small discount. The main village areas are large and have plenty of restaurants and bars. Val Thorens tends to be a little livelier. Les Manoirs, Méribel, and Courchevel-la-Tania are more relaxed, while Courchevel village has high-end stores and restaurants for the well-heeled.
There are lots of on-mountain food options across all the valleys. Some are elevated with spectacular views, and a few are perched on the hillsides or nestled in the bowls to soak up the sun and avoid the wind. On the lower slopes, some venues start the Après-Ski vibe after lunch, especially in Val Thorens, and you may find yourself skiing home in the dark.
Let's get to the skiing. The sheer extent of terrain will have you exploring new trails and areas for days, if not weeks. For the beginner, the learning areas and gentle greens at Courchevel provide an area away from general ski traffic to master the basics. Méribel has a few beginner zones for those ready to ride the lifts and some gentle greens, but they tend to be traversing tracks. Beginners venturing onto the slopes at Val Thorens will be mixing with the general ski traffic, which may be a bit scary for some.
The wide open valley of Val Thorens provides some great long blues for the more confident beginner. There are a few excellent blues in the Méribel valley, but some are main thoroughfares between the resorts that can get ridiculously busy, while Courchevel has short, gentle blues great for building confidence. There are safe areas and activation zones for young kids in each of the valleys. Western Ski Park is great for young kids, while those with skills will enjoy turn and run at Méribel and Friendly Natural Park at Les Manoirs.
Intermediate skiers are able to roam the full extent of Les Trois Vallées with a range of blue and red trails available. Orel provides a bowl with a southerly aspect, great for soaking up the sun on a cold day. The trails are longer than the map may indicate, and the reds have a few steep and challenging sections. The northerly aspect of Cime-Caron and Pointe de la Masse provide better snow conditions on some epic trails. Alternatively, bask in the sun and mix with the crowds on the left side of the valley. Méribel's Mont Valon provides spectacular views and 2 must-do reds back into the valley. There are enjoyable blue and red trails across Méribel and Courchevel Valley, and it's possible to ski zones and avoid returning to the main villages. Chapelet on the far left provides an area away from the bustle of this immense resort.
There are black trails for advanced skiers across all the resorts, although the snow tends to be better on the trails with a northerly aspect. The challenge areas provide some genuinely technical terrain, and who wouldn't want to say they've skied them, but expect them to be well tracked with the volume of skiers on these mountains. When the snow conditions are good, there are some fantastic bowls and piste-adjacent zones, but the skiing in these areas comes with a degree of risk. Courchevel and Méribel have a few areas for tree skiing when there is sufficient snow. Park rats and anyone looking to add some variation to their day have terrain parks and border-cross courses in each valley. The VT T-Bar in Val Thorens and the Châtelet lift in Méribel make it easy to lap the parks. The lifts and queues on Courchevel make Rinsing Family Park a little harder.
A few things to be aware of for Les Trois Vallées. It is possible to buy a lift ticket for just the valley you are staying in. While this will save you a little, if you're there for a week, you'll probably want a Trois Vallées pass so you can go exploring. The high volume of skiers that these resorts cater to is phenomenal, especially during holiday periods, so expect queues on the lifts and company on piste. There are key lifts linking the various valleys that are very busy early in the morning as patrons set off on their adventure.
Expect varying snow conditions across the resorts due to the range in slope elevation and aspect. The higher elevation of Val Thorens and Orel provides better snow conditions, but the trails with a southerly aspect are sunbaked. The snow on the lower slopes of Le Manoir, Meribel, and Courchevel-Latagna can be questionable, even in mid-February. The different aspects and valleys of Courchevel provides places to hide from the weather, but most of the Meribel and Val Thorens valleys are exposed.
It is also worth noting the volume of traffic on key trails leads to mini moguls and icy patches on the groomed trails. This might challenge some skiers and anyone with tired legs. There are also a few key trails linking the valleys that can be excessively busy and are worth avoiding. Cru, Ors, Lac de la Chambre, and Plan Sud will have you second guessing some of your life choices.
It is possible to start early and get ahead of some of the ski traffic, but by 10 a.m. there is activity across the whole resort. The buzz of ski traffic tends to start to slow down around 1 p.m. as patrons break for lunch, and many continue straight into Après-Ski. Mid-afternoon skiing can be very pleasant, but there is a short burst of late afternoon activity as everyone scurries back to their lodging.
Each of the villages across Les Trois Vallées has their own distinct vibe. Once you find your fit, you'll probably stick with it. We met people that have been staying at the same chalet on the same week of February for over 12 years. Based on our limited time in each of the valleys, our take is that Courchevel 1850 and Village are for high-end clientele. The sheer number of 5-star hotels is a solid indicator of this. Courchevel-les-Pras and Latagna provide a more subdued and family feeling.
Meribel is calmer with a family vibe, so too is Le Manoir. Val Thorens has a mix, but there is a strong party undercurrent in the village and the venues. Val Thorens and Courchevel definitely provide opportunities to party late into the night. Orel, over the ridge, is the quiet alternative, the sneaky route to access Les Trois Vallées terrain in true understated French village style.
In our opinion, Les Trois Vallées is a ski wonder of the world. Like seeing the pyramids or visiting Disney, it's an experience in itself. There are trails to suit all levels of skier, and the sheer size can have you exploring new parts of the resort for weeks, even years.
The volume of ski traffic and lift queues may not be for everyone, and the added stress of making sure you get back to the right valley late in the day may take the shine off your holiday. But if you like to explore, enjoy epic long trails, or want to party late into the night, then Les Trois Vallées is hard to beat.
Take a look at our valley guides for more detailed insight into this immense resort.